Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jocelyn Foy, one of your COCE SNHU full-time faculty in the graphic design department. I am here to go over a very fun and basic tutorial with you on how to do image searches in Google. Now, this might seem like a no-brainer, which for some of us it definitely is, but others of us it's a really good idea to just get in the habit of what it is we're doing. The reason that this is an important tutorial to just watch quickly is so that you make sure that when you're doing image searches, you are finding the largest files possible that you're going to be able to use most effectively in your designs. Now, before we get started, an important thing to say is about copyright issues. The law states that we are allowed to use images that someone has put online as long as they are used in the educational context, meaning that in our classes you are able to use things that you find online. If for some reason you do end up taking a design that you've done in our class and bring it into a professional situation, or someone says, oh, I really like that, can I use it? Then you will have to follow the copyright law, which would be to follow up with the photographer or designer and talk to them about the use of those files. Sometimes it could be a font, sometimes it could be a photograph, sometimes it'll be an illustration. But in each case, everyone will have different laws or rules in terms of how you're going to use something. But the most important in all of this is to ask. So in the case of education, though, we're able to use things that we find. And so let's go ahead and look for a picture of dogs. Now, let's say that you're going to be creating an InDesign file and you need to have a picture with a dog that you're going to use for the cover of a children's book. Now, the first thing that you would do is type in, of course, in Google or Bing or another search engine, the title. Each one of them are going to be very different, I should say, subject that you're looking for. In Google's case, you're going to come to images and you're going to click that. My computer is acting a little slow today, so bear with me. And we're going to dig into an image Google search that's just images. And of course, they're adorable. So the next thing that we would do then is we're going to be looking for a large file that we can use, because when we're dealing with InDesign, that means that the images are going to be used for print. For those of us who are in the process of learning this, we understand then that print-based graphics will always be 300 dpi resolution or higher. For web, it's going to be a 72, and that's going to be an easier search. But always start larger, and then you can resize your image. So I'm going to come to Search Tools, and I'm going to come to Size, and I'm going to look for an image that's larger than 2 to 4 meg. So go ahead, in the case of some of these photos there are wonderful. We can go through and we can take a look. Now, let's say you've decided that you want to deal with an image. I will admit I am not so much a dog person. While these dog photos are wonderful, we're going to go for something that's pretty generic here. Okay, we'll go with this one. So I'm going to click on the image. Now, some people's instinct would be to hold down the image and drag it to our desktop, which you can't see, but my mouse is holding down and dragging off of the screen or off of the browser window. So what I'm going to do, though, is what I want you to do is you're going to need to view the image at its full size. So you're going to click that button, and then for us Mac people, all we have to do is hold down and drag that image onto our desktop, and it's going to show up there. In my case, the name of the file is called shepherd.png. Now, for PC people or for Mac people who have right clicks, I'm going to hold down for a PC command, or excuse me, for a Mac I'm going to hold down Control, and I'm going to click on the image, and it's going to say Save Image As. And that's another way to save it to our desktop. For PC people, of course, we could right click. Another option is you have on your keyboard a print screen function. You can click that button, and that will take you to, it will look like nothing happens, but it's going to save it in the virtual memory. Then you're going to need to open up a graphics program like Photoshop. So here I'm going to bring Photoshop up. And you can't really tell that it's on. There we go. Here's our toolbar. And I'm going to come to a File, New. I'm going to do File Open, actually. For you folks who are using the PC, just go to File, New. It's going to open up a file format for you. I'm going to come here to Shepherd. For us Mac people, we're just going to go ahead and open that file. And you can see it's a good size, 3.4 meg. It's going to give us a lot of room, wiggle space to work with as the program dictates. So I can close this window and reduce that size, or that window size here. And I can come in and open it, take a look at it. Now it's coming in at a very strange quality, and I'm sort of curious why that is. But that will enable us to play with whatever's going on here. I love challenges when they come into play. So in the case of this then, I am looking at a file that has some sort of opacity being placed onto it. You can tell for us Mac people, but you PC people too, you will have a backdrop that's this checkerboard, and that signifies that it is a transparent background. Now, one thing that I want you to do is, you can't see it very well, but in your very top navigation, it's a little bit higher than where my mouse is now. We're going to come under the image button, and we're going to come down to image size. And this is where it becomes important for us to consider the size of the graphic that we're dealing with for print. Now, in the case of what we're going to be working with, we are going to be making a book cover with a dog, and so that means the resolution has to be almost 3 times as large as this. Now, we chose an image that's larger, which now enables us to size down the pixels and heighten the pixels per inch, and I don't think that we're going to lose a lot of information. So what we're going to do then is I'd like you to go to your width and do an edit. I'm going to come up to my top navigation, edit copy, and we're going to come back down here and we're going to change 72 to 300. You'll notice that this expands times 3 as well. And that's a problem, because what it's doing then is it's going to take your resolution and your pixels here and you're going to expand them, which usually makes an image turn out to be very fuzzy. But we're going to come back, because we had copied this width up here, and we're going to come back to edit, paste, and we're going to size it back to what it originally was in pixels, but we have changed the pixels per inch. So now you'll notice that the width and height is different, smaller, but definitely manageable. And when you push OK, you're not going to notice anything that's going to shift. And that's a really helpful asset to all of this. And that's going to now prepare us so we can go to File, Save As. And a PNG file is typically something that we would save as a web-based file. For print, we're going to save as a JPEG. I'm going to save it at the highest quality that we can get. And now let's go ahead and take a look and make sure that that looks okay. There we go. And so because we were dealing with a PNG and a transparent background, it looked pretty, it looked semi-transparent. But when we go to save it with a white background, because that's what JPEGs will do, they'll default to white, you get a full color image, and it's in preparation of what you need for a print-based graphic. I hope that this is helpful, and don't hesitate to ask any of us faculty to help you in clarifying any of these issues of image size or Google search. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.